The Liverpool we knew is over, but a sensational rescue plan has just been approved behind the scenes. While you were watching the £450 million chaos under Arne Slot, a secret meeting in Spain changed everything. Xabi Alonso has given the green light to return to Anfield, but he is not coming alone. He demanded a £400 million war chest and a legendary partner to stabilize the club immediately. If you thought the collapse of the Robertson transfer was the peak of the mess, sustainable, with just 3 wins in the last 10 matches and growing pressure from supporters. Internally, the board already treats his dismissal as a matter of time. According to Sky Sports, Xabi Alonso mutually terminated his contract with Real Madrid and has become the most sought-after free manager on the market. Sources close to the coach and his agent, Iñaki Ibanez, say he views a return to Liverpool as natural and emotionally significant, especially because he feels he still has a debt to the fans. Last Friday, Liverpool representatives and Alonso's staff met secretly in Spain. In that meeting, the Spaniard made it clear that he will not take on a short-term project. He demanded an investment package of around £400 million to overhaul the squad and has already presented a list of signings considered priorities. Among the requested names are Adam Wharton, valued at around £80 million and seen as the brain of the new midfield, as well as Florian Wirtz, a player Alonso developed at Bayer Leverkusen. For defense, the target is Mickey van de Ven, while for the attack, the club is considering Michael Olise or Bradley Barcola as options to add pace and depth on the wings. The board believes the amount can be made viable through funds generated through recent sales. As Alonso would only be able to take over officially in the European summer, Liverpool are assessing an emergency solution. According to Team Talk and the Daily Express, Steven Gerrard has informed the club that he is willing to step in immediately as interim manager. Currently a free agent, Gerard sees the opportunity as a chance to rebuild his image after frustrating spells at Aston Villa and in Saudi football. For the board, he would also act as a shield against fan pressure until Alonso's definite arrival. Liverpool's instability became clear after the cancellation of Andy Robertson's £5 million move to Tottenham. The deal collapsed because the club failed to bring Costa Tsimikas back from Roma, leaving no replacement and forcing a retreat that was considered disorganized. With poor results, Arne Slot already appears among the favorites for dismissal in the betting markets. Liverpool are living through a chaotic post-Klopp moment, but internally, the idea is growing that the crisis could open the door to a new era, with Xabi Alonso as the leader of the project. But the question is, how can Liverpool wait until the summer for Alonso if the team is melting down right now? This is where the sensational return of Steven Gerrard comes in. He does not want a long-term contract. He has offered himself as an immediate interim solution. Steven Gerrard's name has moved to the center of internal discussions at Liverpool and is already being treated as the main pillar of the crisis containment plan affecting the club. Amid growing instability under Arne Slot, the former captain and greatest icon of the Reds' recent history has formally informed the board that he is ready to take charge immediately, should the club opt for a change on the bench in the coming weeks. Gerard's signal is not driven by long-term ambition, but by a sense of responsibility toward the club. According to sources close to the board, he made it clear that he does not demand a lengthy contract or future guarantees. His proposal is to act as interim manager with the specific mission of stabilizing the environment, restoring Liverpool's competitive identity, and containing institutional wear, while FSG prepares the next step of the sporting project. Internally, Gerard's presence is seen as a return to the roots at a critical moment. The assessment is that the squad has lost its emotional connection with the club, its intensity in decisive matches, and its clarity of leadership on the pitch. Gerard believes these problems are not only tactical, but mainly cultural. In his view, Liverpool have stopped playing with the weight of the shirt, something he considers unacceptable for a club of this stature. His confidence lies precisely in his deep knowledge of the dressing room, the pressure of Anfield, and the mentality required to compete at the highest level. Executives understand that Gerrard's figure would function as an immediate shield against fan revolt. In a scenario of protests, constant criticism of the board, and declining performances, the return of a club legend would have a direct impact on the internal and external atmosphere. The Liverpool DNA, often mentioned behind the scenes, is seen as a factor the team currently lacks and one that Gerrard embodies like few others. Gerrard's move has intensified the pressure on Arne Slot even further. The Dutch coach, who arrived surrounded by expectation after recent achievements, now faces a scenario of accelerated wear. Betting markets already place him among the favorites to be sacked, and within the club, there is a growing perception that Gerrard's shadow is not symbolic, but real. The simple fact that Steven Gerrard has emerged as a viable alternative has already weakened Arne Slot behind the scenes. Internally, there's also the view that Gerrard sees the return as a chance to rebuild his image after uneven spells away from the club, now more mature and prepared in an environment where his authority would not be questioned. January is being treated as a decisive month. Further poor results could accelerate the change, with Gerrard ready to step in immediately as interim manager until the summer. For the board, betting on him is seen as less risky than maintaining the current instability, and his return is viewed not as nostalgia, but as a practical solution aligned with Liverpool's identity at the most delicate moment of the post-Klopp era. Liverpool have intensified behind-the-scenes movements to turn Adam Wharton into one of the pillars of the club's next sporting cycle, amid a climate of strong instability surrounding Arne Slot's work. Sources close to the negotiations indicate that the midfielder has already made it clear he wants to play at Anfield, even in the face of enquiries and concrete interest from clubs such as Manchester United and Real Madrid. Internally, the choice is seen as a sign of confidence in the project being shaped for the post-crisis period. The board see Wharton as a strategic signing, capable of reorganizing the midfield and restoring control and identity to a team that has lost balance throughout the season. The player is viewed as an ideal profile for the style of play planned by Xabi Alonso, whose name continues to gain strength as Liverpool's manager from the European summer onwards. The Spaniard's possible arrival is directly linked to a rebuild plan valued at around £400 million, focused on young talents with technical leadership capacity. While this future scenario is being debated, the present remains marked by signs of disorganization. The collapse of the negotiation involving Andy Robertson, who was close to a move to Tottenham, exposed planning failures. The unsuccessful attempt to bring Costa Tsimikas back from Roma left the club without an immediate alternative, forcing a retreat considered embarrassing behind the scenes and increasing pressure on the current sporting management. Within the club, there is a growing perception that continuing with the current project compromises competitiveness in the short and medium term. The possible signing of Adam Wharton has come to symbolize more than a simple reinforcement. It represents hope for a new beginning, supported by clearer and more structured decisions. For executives and members of the football department, the combination of a new coaching staff and names like Wharton is seen as essential to restore stability, reconnect Liverpool with its historic identity, and put the club back on track for major domestic and European battles. You, Liverpool supporter, Would you rather bet now on a new beginning with Adam Wharton as the pillar of the midfield and Xabi Alonso leading the rebuild, or do you believe the club should persist with the current project despite all of the signs of instability? Leave your opinion in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching until the end. See you next time.